गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा स्वभाव माधवा कुंजली गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I go the Holy Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimat's Divine Grace Avai Sharanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Prem Se Kaho Si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada Anuga ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories, Shri Shri Guru and Gurang, all glories Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. We are reading today from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 43. Oh, there is no purport to this. Maybe we should read 43 onwards, chapter 46. So, I am reading from the chapter 18 called The Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation, the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Shamodamas saucham shantir arjavamevacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahmakarama svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. Shauryam tejo dhritirdakshyam yuddhe chapi apalayanam danam ishvara bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. Krishi Gorakshaka Vanijyam Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas. and for the Shudras there are labor and service to others. Swe swe karmanya viratah samsiddhim labate narah swakarma niratah siddhim yata vindanti tachvinu. By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. Yata pravritir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindanti manavaha. Text 46. By worship of the Lord who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. I will read a purport by Srila Prabhupada to this shloka. Purport: as stated in the 15th chapter, all living beings are fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Supreme Lord is the beginning of all living entities. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadhyasayatah. The Supreme Lord is therefore the beginning of life of every living entity. And as stated in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord, by his two energies, his external energy and internal energy, is all-pervading. Therefore, one should worship the Supreme Lord with his energies. Generally, the Vaishnava devotees worship the Supreme Lord with his internal energy. His external energy is a perverted reflection of the internal energy. The external energy is a background for the Supreme Lord. By the expansion of his plenary portion as Paramatma is situated everywhere. He is the super soul of all demigods, all human beings, all animals everywhere. One should therefore know that as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one has his duty to render service unto the Supreme. Everyone should be engaged in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. That is recommended in this verse. Everyone should think that he is engaged in a particular type of occupation by Rishikesha, the master of the senses. And the result of the work in which one is engaged, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, should be worshipped. If one thinks always in this way, in full Krishna consciousness, then by the grace of the Lord, he becomes fully aware of everything. That is the perfection of life. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Te Shamaham Samudharta. The Supreme Lord himself takes charge of delivering such a devotee. That is the highest perfection of life. In whatever occupation one may be engaged, if he serves the Supreme Lord, he will achieve the highest perfection. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurun militam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome to all of you. We are very fortunate to be at the lotus feet of Jagannath, Balaram and Subhadra Devi, Lord Nrsimha and Prahlad and Shishi Gauranitai, and at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Today is a very nice, cool evening, and you're all very comfortably situated. And it is Krishna's mercy that he has made it very nice so that you can hear the Bhagavad Gita. You can see the forms of the Lord. You can think about these matters. You can accept some prasada. You can associate with devotees and learn more about Krishna, learn more about the Bhagavad Gita, etc. This is facility given. And for the facility to be present, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada has formed this movement and established it all over the world, and also established a structure, established the understanding of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and made and crafted a whole process of how you can gradually realize yourself, realize God, Krishna, realize the truth, and be situated in reality. So, this requires organization, this requires management, this requires many things. And therefore, many of us have to be engaged in doing this. Similarly, in a big country like ours, we need people to organize it, run it properly, and keep away people who give trouble to people, and give people information, knowledge, progress, and better human life. This is what we expect from the government, from the leaders. So, human society is mentioned in the verses that I read, is classified into four types of people. And the classification is according to what affects them by the force of material nature, called the gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tama iti guna prakriti sambhavaha. According to how these gunas affect a person, his behavior, his nature, his attitude, his inclinations are all known. It is not only according to, when you say, I like this, I tend to do this, it means that you are under a certain mode that makes you like that. It is not only that I'm an individual, I like it. No, you are an individual under the influence of the modes of nature. And according to the influence and the permutation and combination of rajas, tamas, and sattva, you are inclined in a certain way, you like things in a certain way, or you suffer things in a certain way. This is karma. This is karma. So you are under control. So now you want to be liberated. You want to be understanding who you are, what is happening, who is doing this to me, where am I, why is there death, why is there birth, who am I? When you have these type of questions, then you approach a teacher, guru, who knows the truth, who has heard it from another bona fide teacher, and he explains to you. So what we are reading here is Krishna himself speaking and instructing this original information to Arjuna. And this is what is coming in the parampara. And what I'm reading out to you from the purport is Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada's explanation. It says here very clearly, there are four types of classifications of people: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are not caste system. These are not classifying people according to low class and high class. It's completely wrong to think like that. Even if you think like that, the classification is there, is existing. Even if you abolish, it will exist. It's like saying, there is no sun. Okay, because you said there is no sun, tomorrow the sun will not rise, it will continue to rise. Because that is the way the world operates. Same way, there is no caste. Okay, there is no caste because nobody said there is caste. But the influence of the three modes of material nature will be there. And people will behave like Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. There's a common classification and characteristics. You cannot stop that. Modes of material nature, please stop acting. Who are you? Who are you? So you're under the powerful influence of material nature. This is first thing to understand, whether you like it or not. It's not according to what you like, it's according to the truth. So there are four classifications: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. It's not anything bad, because the opportunities for understanding the absolute truth, Krishna, are equally open to all classes. When the sun shines, the opportunity for getting sunlight is equally open to everybody. But if somebody wants to hide inside and close the door and window, what can we do about it? There is no sun. If you can say from inside the dark room, all the curtains are drawn, I don't see any sun. There is no sun. It doesn't mean that the sun will stop being there in reality. It is there. Open out the window and see outside, it's there. Same way, these are all realities you cannot stop from functioning. The truth spoken by Krishna. Four classes of people are there because each one is influenced by more of sattva. And more of sattva guna is known as Brahmana. More of passion, Kshatriya. More of ignorance and passion, Vaishya. More of ignorance alone, Shudra. This is according to your previous karma. According to your previous karma. So, Jantur Deho Upapattaye, Karmana Daiva Netrena, Jantur Deho Upapattaye. The Atma takes birth, goes into a womb and develops a body according to Karmana, according to its karma. Daiva Netrena, under the supervision of higher Supreme Lord. These things are happening, and that is how you are being born. There is rule, there is law, there is governance, and there is control. So, according to that only you will act. So, some people are there in society who are very good at grasping knowledge. They're very good at explaining it to other people, making them understand and making them act like that. They are very good in teaching you the scripture about God. They're very good at making you religious. All these people are Brahmins. It is not by birth, but by guna karma vibhagasha. By guna and karma, naturally they'll be like that. Kshatriyas also. Kshatriyas are passionate, powerful people, warriors, capable of fighting and protecting people. Heroism, chivalrousness, valor, courage, administration, management, giving punishment to people, keeping control of the society, bad elements are kept out, all these things are required. Kshatriya, like police. If police are not there, all sorts of criminals will be hanging around and people will get troubled a lot. There'll be thefts, there'll be dacoitry, there'll be that, this. So they need people like that in society. They are called Kshatriyas. They are the ones who become the kings. They are very powerful, they are noble. So there are people like that. And at the same time, there are people who do business. They are very good at taking something and turning it into money. Krishi Gorakshaka Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. Vaishya is a person whose duty is to do agriculture. Goraksha, protect the cows. Vanijyam, do some trading. And this is his nature. He'll be very good at trading. This is by nature. You'll see a lot of people in this world now. Many people are involved only in being Vaishyas. Most of the education is on how to make money. How to make money. Very few people study for the sake of knowledge. Knowledge for the sake of making money only I'm studying. After big studies, they'll go and take a job somewhere and be a Shudra. Shudra is the only person who will take a job and take a salary. Shudra is the only person who will take job and take salary as per this definition. A Vaishya is independent. He will not work under anybody. He will do his own business, make money. A Kshatriya will provide protection, army, forces and everything. He can collect taxes. Give me tax for looking after you. I need for all the army and the soldiers and the weapons and the protection and everything. I need money. So he'll collect tax from everybody, from the Vaishya, from the Shudra, from the everybody else. He'll take taxes, and he will maintain himself like that. So this is the system, and it works very nicely in human society. Even today, it is there. You don't call it derogatorily caste system and all that. People are still like that only. Then there is Shudra, Paricharyatmakam. Shudra can only do physical work, doesn't have much intelligence. So he cannot do business, he can't be like Kshatriya and all that. He will do work for you, and whatever he will maintain himself. Not very intelligent, but he's physically capable of doing some things. So you have people like that. They are laborers. It's not that they are bad because they are laborers. It is just that in the modern economy, they become very disadvantaged because they don't cannot earn much money. So they will rise against the other people, and there will be big confusion. But in the Vedic system of thought, the Shudras get enough to look after themselves very well. They are protected by the Vaishyas, by the Kshatriyas, they are engaged by them and everything. Even recently, in the 18th century, the visiting one lady from Europe came traveling all the way, it's recorded, and came up to Pune. And she has written in chronicles. You can see so many people's writings visiting India. So that people who had servant maids in their houses, Shudrani, who will clean up the bathroom, the toilet, will wash up all the places, do the garden, this thing properly, pluck the flowers, do everything they'll do, all these physical things. Servant maid, wash the vessels, wash the clothes, everything. The servant maids had gold ornaments from the elbow to the wrist and from the knees till the ankle, and also full jewels here, completely decked with gold. Who they were? Servant maids working in the house. The owner will give everything. Well, you use it. It is not that the Shudra, because I am called Shudra, that I am useless. No. The person whom you're working for, he feels, I must look after this person. He's doing this type of a thing for me. So I'll keep you. Anything you need, you come to me. My daughter marriage, here, look after. Looked after very well. They never feel I'm a Shudra. I'm low class. I don't have money. So you see the difference nowadays. The laborers feel I am not getting paid enough. I am working in the factory and you are taking all the money. What work are you doing? So this is unrest because he feels he is not looked after properly. The income is not distributed to everybody properly, proportionately. But in Vedic times, a Shudrani will never feel like that. He gets enough even for his enjoyment, and he will drink, he will do all those things also. He's happy because he's looked after very well. That is the system. When a king is ruling, Kshatriya, he will make sure everybody is happy. Not only that, everybody is materially prosperous and happy, and they will all worship the Supreme Lord. Sve sve karmanya viratah samsiddhim labate naraha. Whatever according to their propensity they can work, it doesn't matter what work you do. If you're a Brahmana work or you do a Shudra work, doesn't matter. Everybody will get together in the temple and worship the Lord. Everybody will get together and chant Hare Krishna. Everybody will get together and hear Ramayana Katha. When the Shudra can story, very nice story. I like Sita and her wonderful role as a wife of Ramachandra. I like this. I want to be like this. Everybody will have their. I want to be a good man. I want to be a nice person. Even the Shudra, the Vaishya, the Kshatriya, everybody will give charity. Nice people. It doesn't matter that if you're a Shudra, because in the face of the Lord, everybody is same. Temporarily in this life, you have got that type of karma, so you put like that. That's all. What the Bhagavad Gita says, we are all equal. Why? We are all spirit souls. When you get free from material life, it is not that you will remain a Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana. You become a devotee, eternal part and parcel of Krishna. So, What are the duties of these people? Kshatriya, it is given here, we just read. Recently, there is a worldwide whole recognition about the King of England getting coronation. It is very difficult for people. Kinga, why no king? Now king has got no powers, not much at least, some extent. But we don't, in a democratic society, in a secular government like we have placed all over the world, kings don't have much of a role, especially one person on the top, monarchy, one person ruling. People think nowadays, no chance. Everybody together, several people together, one person alone, we can never tolerate. In Kali Yuga, in this time, one person on the top, they'll shoot him down, they'll finish him. So they made it democracy. Several people, many people together. Even then, naturally, people want to look upon one person. You'll see, even if it's a democracy, if the person, if there is one person who shows Kshatriya qualities, protects the people, and is interested in the people, and does something, he becomes the person everybody look forward to. Simply, government, party ruling, nobody likes. Everybody relates to a person, not to an impersonal government. They want a person. That's why monarchy is very naturally accepted by the human being. Why? That king, if you look at history, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj, his grandson afterwards. Before that, so many great kings, Maharaj Shibi, Maharaj Yayati, King Yayati. You read all these wonderful histories of these kings. During their times, they ruled a whole kingdom, and they were very actively involved in helping everybody in the kingdom, whether he's a Shudra level or he's a big minister level as a Brahmana. Everybody gets the same type of care according to the time, place, and circumstance. And they were very powerful, and they were great warriors with powerful strength. You know, Bharat Maharaj, our country is named Bharat after him. He would go to the forest and single-handed, with his hands, he will fight a tiger. You imagine how courageous he is. Unless you're courageous, you can't be leading a kingdom. People will attack you, and you should know how to fight a war, lead an army, protect your people, run the government, and make people happy and lead them towards God. This is the duty of a king. King is not simply sit and drink and enjoy life and have a harem of 15, 16 wives and then go here and there like a chubby fellow who doesn't do anything but just collects a lot of money and hangs around. That's not the idea of a king. That became like that in Kali Yuga. The last of the great kings was Parikshit Maharaj. The Bhagavatam describes a Kshatriya king, Parikshit, such a great hero, powerful person, warrior. He was so great that when he was in the womb of his mother, Uttara, Uttara is the wife of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was a young teenage boy who fought in the Mahabharata, and he was killed by all the Kauravas because he was Arjuna's son. Take revenge. And they finished him. And his wife was pregnant when he died. Uttara. Uttara bore Parikshit. The war ended. Pandavas won. Duryodhana was beaten. His thighs were broken and he was lying somewhere. Ashwatthama became very disturbed. My father was killed by these Pandavas. Dronacharya. And I am feeling so bad that we lost. Must take some revenge. So he is the person who went and killed 5 of the people whom he saw sleeping there, thinking they are the Pandavas sleeping. But actually they turned out to be the 5 sons of the Pandavas. Then he brought the heads to Duryodhana and said, I have done this. Duryodhana said, foolish idiot, why did you do this? This is against Kshatriya principles. Even Duryodhana said, I don't agree with this. Why did you go and kill innocent people? Children. Even Duryodhana, whose thighs were broken and is waiting to die, said, you have done something very bad. This is not Kshatriya. So even Duryodhana had Kshatriya principles. He said, wrong. Then Ashwatthama again got disappointed and again he attacked the last son of the grandson of the Pandavas who was still alive in Uttara's womb. This Parikshit. He sent the Brahmastra weapon to kill that child in the womb of Mother Uttara. So Uttara knew this is coming and my child will be dead. So she ran to Krishna and said, protect me. I don't mind dying, but my child should be protected. That was the type of mothers. I don't mind dying, but my child should live. Today, the opposite they want. All of you know that very well. I won't speak about it very much. It's more important to keep the mother alive. Principles are different. So she went and begged to Krishna, you can do it. You are the Supreme Lord. Protect my child. Krishna, it's mentioned that entered the womb of Uttara. And Parikshit had darshan of the Lord in the womb of his mother. It's described he was thumb size, Shanka Chakra Gadapadma, blackish, yellow cloth, and moving with his up and down, guarding him from the Brahmastra. He was moving up and down, and Parikshit saw, wow, beautiful looking person. This person is super looking. First person whom he ever saw was in the womb of his mother. He saw the Supreme Lord. Krishna protected the womb, and the Brahmastra he dissolved. It did not affect, and Parikshit was born. It described the birth of Parikshit as a chapter, and when he was born, it was so auspicious. All the astrologers said, oh, this is an amazing person. He'll be such a great warrior, such a chivalrous man, such a charitable man. He's so good with this, everything is good. And he's a great devotee. And that is why his name is Parikshit. After he was born, he was always looking for that person whom I saw in the womb. He was putting everybody to the pariksha. Is this the person? Is that person? Is it? No, this is not good. He was looking for Krishna. Then he heard, my grandfather is Arjuna. Arjuna's close friend is Krishna. And he spoke Bhagavad Gita. He learned all that and he kept on hearing wherever he went. People were talking, oh, you are the great grandson of Arjuna. You are that, you are this, everything. They were speaking the glories and he was keeping on hearing about Krishna, about Arjuna, about Krishna, about Arjuna, about the Pandavas and everything. A valorous king. So great he was. One day, he was traveling and seeing how my kingdom is doing. Who is doing what? Anything wrong anywhere. He's not a king who sits inside and gets drunk and then presses some button and say, send one missile here and kill them. Bomb here and sit here and do nothing. Kshatriya means very brave person willing to face and solve the problem. He went around. Then he saw one dirty, black-looking man, Shudra, who was wearing a king's dress with a crown, and he was beating a bull and, cow and breaking their legs, doing all sorts of atrocious things. And Parikshit, he stopped his chariot and said, stop it! Who are you? How dare you do this in my kingdom? Cow is supposed to be protected. It's our mother. What are you doing? And he took out his sword and said, I'll finish you right now. Right now I'll finish you. Immediately that black man took out his crown took out his robes, and he fell at the feet of Parikshit and said, I am Kali, Kali Yuga. I am supposed to start, but you must not kill me. I also have to do my seva. What I am supposed to do? Please give me shelter. He held the feet of Parikshit. He was very smart. The king, if somebody surrenders to him, should protect him. So Parikshit was thinking, now he surrendered to me, I have to protect him. So Kali told him, please give me shelter. Please give me a place to stay in your kingdom. My kingdom, no, you have no place. Such a fellow like you trying to this thing. No, you must give me a place. So he said, wherever there is meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, you stay there. But there's no such place in your kingdom at all. You have such a strict, wonderful, this thing you're running, everybody is Krishna devotee, and there is no such a place. I don't know. There'll be somewhere, some place you stay there. No, give one more concession. Then Parikshit told him, wherever there is gold, you can be there. Wherever there is gold, you can be there. So these 5 places Kali got, authorized by Parikshit. But in his time, it was not there anywhere. It was very difficult for him to find a place. So he waited. He waited. As soon as Parikshit's time was over, he entered again forcefully. Actually, Kali started when Krishna left itself. But because of Parikshit, he was not able to enter inside. He was such a powerful king, he can even stop Kali Yuga from entering in Kali Yuga. He extended the Dwapara Yuga, sort of. So powerful. This is the meaning of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means he'll protect the people and keep them all safely oriented towards spiritual life, towards God consciousness. That is his duty. Kshatriya does not mean simply you have a title, I am king, and you have a coronation. Such a weakling you are. Pooh, if you blow, you'll fall down and dead. Some terrorists come and shoot you on the head. It's very weak. Not that Kshatriya, heroism, valor, courage, going to war and facing the bullets. None of these things I can do. None of these things I can do. Kshatriya means noble, brave, bold, courageous. This all is the meaning of Kshatriya. So, that type of kingship is lost. In Kali Yuga, you don't see that type of Kshatriyas. Now you have all sorts of people, mostly Shudras become elected and become somebody. Because Inqilab, Zindabad, the kings were not voted into power by the public. What will the Shudras and the Vaishyas know what is good for me? Brahmanas are superior to the Kshatriyas. They are very intelligent and well read. We know what is good for the people. Which person can do the job best? So taking the blessings of the Brahmanas, the Kshatriya will rule. And he will take their advice. That is what is a ministers. Ministers means, council of ministers means all Brahmanas advising. Sages, munis, Brahmanas, thinkers will advise the king, you do like this, you do this, you do that. And they will praise him for his heroism, for his valor, for his conquest, for bringing his enemies under control and protecting the people. All that, they praise him for that. And they'll advise him what to do. And the king will always listen to his Brahminical counsel. And he wants that type of brainy people to advise him. So nowadays also you will see the same model. The same model, the Prime Minister will have the Council of Ministers and he will run the country. But not always they are like a Parikshit and Yudhishthira. Some little bit, something small, very small. But people want a monarchical model because the one person representation is a representative of God. King is called Naradeva, a human god. He's a representative of God. Why? He's very careful about his responsibility. Why? 1/6 of the karma of the praja will fall on his head. If he does not lead people properly, if he does not teach them the right path, they will do all sorts of wrong things, adharmic and criminal things. all that 1/6 of that karma will fall on his head. Then what will happen to the king? Like our country's population is 1.4 billion people. If 1/6 of the karma of all those people fall on the top of the person who's managing, they don't know this actually. It is according to law. Because you are in position, you have power, you have army, you have treasury, you have soldiers. You say people will do it, isn't it? I mean, use that power to protect the people, to protect dharma, and make people God conscious. That is the duty of the king. That's the duty of the king. And for doing and taking that responsibility, if all the people perform good activity, 1/6 of that also will come for him in his bank balance. Then what will happen to him? He will be elevated. So if he rules properly, if he leads people properly in Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, then he will also get 1/6 of the benefit of what they are doing. Then his spiritual life, boom, accelerated like nothing. 1.4 billion people become Krishna conscious means 1/6 of that, instantly you'll go back to God. Yes or no? If 1.4 billion people do all adharmic activities, instantly you'll go to hell and never come back. So bad hell you'll go, so deep, deeper than Patala Loka you'll go, shooting down. Heavy karma you'll take. So countries like, all countries in Kali Yuga, lot of sinful activities people do. Because Kali is situated everywhere. Everywhere is bar. Everywhere is, this thing, that thing, all is meat eating, everything is there. Because Kali is ruling, not the king, not the head of the state. Kali is ruling. So nowadays, if you say coronation of a king, I don't know what it means. He has no power. He cannot teach people dharma. He himself is adharmic many times. If you see the history of the UK's history, all horrible bloody history they've got. In their own family, they were killing each other. Brother killing the sister killing the husband, and this all to occupy the throne. Everybody killing each other. Whole family history is killing, killing, murdering. Bloody history. And now you say coronation of the king. And they are the people who colonized the whole world, looted money from everywhere. And so people not very happy about seeing a king like that. So these are all weaklings. These are not great personalities. So I'm taking one section and saying about Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas are very important in society. Good leaders they are. They lead the people. Lead the people does not mean like our other leadership. Many great leadership courses. What do they teach you? How to be a leader. Leader for what? For running a big company to make profits and give everybody the chance for profit and making money and enjoying life. They are not talking about dharma, they are not talking about philosophy of life, they are not talking about leading people so that we'll all together become self realized and be prosperous and happy, not those type of things. So it is not that everybody who leads you, somebody, even gangsters have a leader, it's a gang leader. That does not mean every leader person who's occupied, he's also following leadership principles. How to steal. Prabhupada told us that even gang leader has got morals. Everybody goes and steal together and he will say, listen, everybody should get equal share. We should be truthful. We should be paka dharma. Stealing dharma, we should share together. That is the dharma. After stealing, first of all, you're stealing. Now, what is the use of your dharma of telling that everybody should get equal share? It doesn't belong to you at all, first of all. So many of the dharma followed without God in position. First of all, God is providing everything for you, you don't acknowledge Him. You don't acknowledge Him at all. No God in the picture. We are a secular country. We don't believe in any religion. Anybody can follow any religion. We only use religion for getting votes. After that, we forget about religion and God and dharma and everything. Because we have our own dharma, our own man made laws. our own man-made laws. What's the use? What's the use? That type of leadership means you're leading people to hell. You're not helping people to actually understand the value of life, of human life, what is birth, what is death, why am I here, the philosophy of life. You're not able to lead them towards that. That's what a king is supposed to do. That's what a leader of people is supposed to do. Not only increase the GDP, that's not enough. To teach people dharma, about God, about their association with God, about the supreme destination. These things are required. So, although it's a parody that somebody is getting coronation and is a king and all that, so in Kali Yuga, you don't have that type of leaders. But sometimes people don't have any position, but people lead people because people are wanting this type of association. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, he is leading so many people all over the world, although he is physically not present here. So many people read his books and take up God consciousness, read his Bhagavad Gita, his Bhagavat, and become, my gosh, I never knew all these things. Nobody told me because no leader tells you all these things. This one person, his book is translated in 85 languages all over the world, Bhagavad Gita. So many people are reading it. He's leading people even now to God, to Krishna. You don't have to, be physically present to be able to lead people and inspire them with Krishna's instructions. Not required. So he's a leader. He's a king, right? His influence on people, leading them towards God, leading them towards Krishna. We need people, leaders who will bring us the reality, who will teach us how to be happy by factoring God inside. If you don't factor God inside, you're like that gang leader who's telling morality. Whatever we steal, we should share it equally. But you don't talk about the fact that you're stealing. Whatever you take from this world, natural resources, it belongs to Krishna, God. Ishavashyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagat. Mentioned everything comes to the Supreme Lord. But you want to take all these things and you want to make things and you want to share it equally. You're also a thief. You're a big time thief. You're so big thief that nobody can understand that you're a thief. Alexander, it seems, in his troop, when he conquered and came towards India, in the camp they caught hold of a thief. Fellows come inside the camp and stealing food and everything. What a thief is. They brought him. They said, kill him. Alexander said, kill him immediately. So he said, 1 minute before you kill me. See, what did I do? I came to your camp and took a little roti, some bread, some this thing. I'm hungry. I took some clothing I don't have. Just my necessity. What is the difference between you and me? You came to this country, a village, you ransacked the whole place, killed my people, you took away my women, children, and everything. You took away all my wealth, everything. You're a big thief. I'm a small thief. What's the difference? Alexander became very surprised. He said, release him, let him go. He spoke the truth. Because he spoke the truth. Same way, all these big people, whether it is Elon Musk or it is Bill Gates or it is somebody else or Zuckerberg or anybody, they are all also, if they are not devotees of the Lord, if they're not acknowledging God, they are also big thief. You may be a great leader, you're also a gangster, big time gangster leading people. That's all. You're taking natural resources and everything, people and everything from the world. You didn't make it, you didn't manufacture all these things. And you are using it without acknowledging the Supreme Lord. But a true king will acknowledge the Supreme Lord. He'll perform sacrifices to propitiate all the devatas so that they'll supply rain, sunlight, water, air purely because my subjects need it. So he will be very religious. He will recognize God and he'll lead people also to recognize God. And naturally, he'll be in harmony with nature, harmony with God, and the people will be very prosperous. If you're not religious, you cannot be a leader. You cannot be a king. It's if you read Bhagavad Gita, you'll understand this. How you can have good qualities that a Kshatriya has to look after the people if you are not connected with God. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana sarver gunes tatra samasate suraha. Harab abhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathe nasati dhavato bahi. If a person is not a devotee of the Lord, if a person is not religious, if a person doesn't acknowledge God, what good qualities can he have? So all our great democracy cut off from the religion and saying I'm secular and all is bunkum. You will not be able to lead people or people will not be happy under you. God is a reality. Krishna is a reality. And even now it is functioning according to his laws only, whether you may agree or not, whether you may know about it or not. Better for you to know you will live in harmony and Krishna will protect you, provide for you. And when the kingship, the government is nicely linked to acknowledging God and accepting his mercy and training people to do so, that will be a prosperous